continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Another minor eruption has occurred at Taal Volcano earlier this morning. PHIVOLCS noted that a small phreatomagmatic eruption, which generated a 200-meter grayish plume, happened at Taal at about 6:47 a.m. earlier today. This means that for the past 24 hours, a total of 6 minor bursts have been recorded in Taal. The agency also notes over 60 volcanic earthquakes and more than 11,000 tons of sulfur dioxide emissions over in Taal since yesterday. The PNP has arrested a scammer posing as a nurse online to sell COVID-19 vaccines. Aside from the illegal sale, the suspect also stole the identity of a licensed nurse. Here's the report.
Anong pangalan mo? Anong pangalan mo?
Anong pangalan niyo po?
Anong pangalan mo?
Yung totoo po.
Nakakatawa ka ng identity test at bibigay ka ng COVID vaccine, ha? Meron kang kaso, ha?
In an entrapment operation in Pasay City, authorities arrested this woman suspected of selling COVID-19 vaccines online.
Papanggap ka bilang si Diary Esteban.
The police used 55,000 pesos as entrapment money to catch the online seller identified as Michelle Parajes.
Ako yung kasama mo.
The PNP also nabbed her accomplice and live-in partner identified as Angelo Bunganay. Parajes was supposedly pretending to be a nurse and was using the photo and copy of the PRC license of a real nurse named Daryl Esteban. Esteban was the one who turned the suspect in after finding out about her modus on social media. The nurse admitted that she posted a copy of her PRC license last year out of excitement from having it successfully renewed. Esteban said she did not expect her photo to be used for a scam.
Pero blinner ko po yung ibang information. Nalaman ko to, hindi na ako nakatulog. Siyempre, parang pakiramdam ko lahat na lang ng pwede niyang kausapin. Feeling ko ang dami na niyang nakakausap para gamitin yung pangalan ko.
After someone informed her of the modus, Esteban posed as a buyer and transacted with the suspect. She requested to buy 56 vials of the COVID-19 vaccines, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, and Pfizer for 120,000 pesos. The suspect then requested for a down payment of 50,000 pesos.
Alam mo kung anong kasalanan mo? Wala kasing nilalabas or binibentang vaccine.
After getting arrested, Parajes apologized to Esteban. Parajes said she was only desperate to get money as she is 1 month pregnant. She also admitted that she never had vaccine supplies to sell.
Dahil sa kahirapan ko, nagawa ko po ito, pero promise mo, wala akong binigyan na ibang identity mo.
Esteban, however, is decided to push through with filing a case against the suspect. The Pasay police is also urging Parajes' other victims to speak out.
Ito is professional swindler nga ito, itong nahuli natin na ganito. So kung sino man yung nakakakilala dito at nabiktima ng swindler na to, pwede pong silang dumulog dito sa Pasay.
Parajes will face charges for violation of the anti-cybercrime law, estafa, and swindling.
The Interagency Task Force is now ready with a contingency plan versus the highly transmissible Delta variant. This was confirmed by National Task Force Against COVID-19 Special Advisor Ted Herbosa in an interview with Agenda. Herbosa said that part of their contingency plan is to check their stockpile of PPEs, oxygen tanks, medicine, and testing kits. While recognizing the concerns of local chief executives, Herbosa insisted that testing kits should be reserved for unvaccinated individuals only.
I think that's science-based, no? Kasi pag fully vaccinated ka, maliit ang chance na mag-transmit ka. Pwede kang mag-transmit, pero mas maliit ang chance mo mag-transmit. And I'd like to reserve the test kits ng PCR for our Delta variant intrusion, di ba? Kasi kung unnecessary yung testing at pang-border control lang, that's an expensive model. Mag-test ka ng 100 PCR para humanap ng 4 na taong positive. Parang sa cost-benefit analysis, parang overkill.
Meanwhile, PhilHealth spokesperson Shirley Domingo also shared on Agenda that the agency is looking to improve its existing coverage for COVID-19 patients.
That's true. We're studying a new case rate for COVID inpatient cases. Pareho pa rin because we pay case rate. So medications, pareho pa rin, no? It will answer the whole cost of treatment of COVID. But the amount will be different. And mahirap sabihin muna yan because it still has to be approved.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Labor Department has released detailed guidelines on the availment of the shortened quarantine period for fully vaccinated OFWs. Faith Del Mundo with the details.
Returning overseas Filipino workers who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 are now entitled to a shorter quarantine stay in a facility or hotel. The former 40-day period protocol, which was reduced to 10 days, eventually becomes 7 days only if an OFW can get a negative RT-PCR test result during his or her 5th day of stay. However, returning OFWs must first have their vaccination card or certificate validated by the Philippine Overseas Labor Office or POLO, so that they can qualify for the shortened quarantine period. This was confirmed by Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III in a forum on Wednesday. Bello said OFWs that have completed their vaccination can sign up online to the One Health Pass website. Fully vaccinated OFWs need to upload their proof of vaccination, valid travel document, and verified employment contract so that the polos in their host country can validate their inoculation. The Bureau of Quarantine will then issue the Polo-verified certification of full vaccination to the returning OFWs upon their arrival in the country. The protocol is only applicable to returning OFWs who have completed their COVID-19 vaccination abroad and have stayed exclusively within the 57 green countries or low-risk ones.
Magandang development din sa desisyon ng ating interagency task force dahil dati kahit na bakunado ka, dadaan ka naman sa 10-day quarantine. Ngayon, iba na. Ngayon, 7 days na lang. Pagdating mo, after ma-quarantine ka, 5 days, mapamaan ka na. Masuswab ka na. And after lumabas at negative ka, pwede ka nang pumunta sa final destination mo. So, na-lessen by 3 days ang quarantine period. Malaking bagay yan. Malaking bagay sa OWA dahil mabawasan yung gastos ng hotel, quarantine, food, medicine. And to the OFW, ang laking bagay yan sa emotional burden nila.
But for OFWs like Mary Joy, an HR manager in the UAE, the 7-day quarantine is still a long wait for people who had to be away from their families for quite some time. She is hoping that the IATF can give OFWs like her the kindest consideration they deserve, which for her means implementing a testing upon arrival protocol for fully vaccinated balikbayans like her.
Sana po parang i-consider na lang kami mga OFW na meron namang app dito sa ibang bansa tulad dito sa UAE, may tinatawag na Allocine app, makikita naman doon talagang vaccinated kami. So pagdating dyan after ng PCR na swab, pag nakita po na negative, sana hindi na lang po kami i-quarantine dahil bago po umalis dito from UAE, nakapakita naman po na para nag-PCR kami, negative, in a matter of how many hours lang naman sa eroplano. So, hindi naman po siguro kami agad mahahawa kung meron man. Hindi naman makakalabas ng UAE kung hindi ka naman po negative. So, pagdating dyan, we do understand na kailangan mag-PCR, pero sana po, pag may result na negative, diretso na lang po sa bahay or home quarantine na lang po. Bawas pa po sa gastos ng government.
However, Mary Joy's appeal might not happen anytime soon, since the UAE is part of the list of countries included in the Philippine government's travel ban. Meanwhile, Bello said he has not yet received any reports about OFWs showing fake vaccine cards. The Labor Secretary warned that those who could attempt to do so will face serious charges. For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
Stars partied well into the night in Cannes as the world's largest film festival made its red carpet comeback. Celebrities were out in force on the French Riviera for the opening ceremony in a show of support for the industry hammered by the pandemic after theaters closed for months. Masks are still required indoors, and attendees can only enter the festival palace by presenting negative COVID tests or vaccination certificates. On the red carpet, stars avoided the usual French cheek-to-cheek greeting. Still, celebrities and filmmakers said this was a wonderful and profound experience to be able to return to the theaters. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.